You know, nuts and bolts, there comes a time in a man's life, in every man's life, when you've just got to get another motorcycle. Alright, so, yeah, I got another one. Now, this is not really in addition to, this is replacing one. The GS750 that I was building into a cafe racer, I just sold. Now I got that bike just to get it and make a cafe racer project and probably eventually sell it. I knew I was going to get into a dual sport eventually, but I just took it on a long ride over the long weekend a couple of weekends ago, over to Eastern Washington. I'm in Western Washington, and it was fun. It was a blast. It was a really good time. And I went over there and visited my family. It's where I'm from originally, and rode around with my brother, and it was great. But it also kind of made me realize that that's not really what I wanted. This is what I wanted. So I got to looking on Craigslist, and I found a sweet bike, and this is not it. But I didn't have the funds to pick it up right away. And it was actually exactly what I was looking for, but I couldn't get it because I didn't have the funds readily available. So I decided it was time to part with the GS750 and upgrade. Well, so I posted it on Craigslist for sale and was sold by the next night. That allowed me to get back onto Craigslist, and the bike I wanted was already gone. But then this bike showed up. And what this bike is a 1987 DR600. From what I've researched online, these things are beasts. Now, I haven't actually fired this thing up. So, what I want to do, the main moto vlogger on YouTube that really inspires me is eveRide and Mr. Duff Actor, but mostly eveRide. Mr. Duff Actor is a genius. But anyways, that was kind of weird. But they are embarking on a journey where they're restoring eveRide's old bike that he had gotten rid of and thought was lost forever, but they recovered it and surprised him. And anyways, I'll put links in the description below and you can see what I'm talking about if you don't know already. Anyways, I'm rambling. But that's what I'm going to do with this too. And the whole purpose is to show people how to get into dual sporting on the cheap. Now, I don't really necessarily have any experience with dual sporting. I've had lots of years of experience with motorcycles, with dirt bikes and street bikes, but never the two together. So, but it can be an expensive sport to get into. But it can also be a cheap and easy sport to get into. It's just all where you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it in time or money or both. So if you know the tricks, you can avoid some of that. Not saying that I know all the tricks, but there are sources to learn the tricks, and all you have to do is put in the work to do it. So anyways, I'm inspired by those two in their build, and I'm going to try to follow in their footsteps with my own project and show how you can get into dual sporting for cheap. So that brings me to the bike. So this is, like I said, 1987 DR600. Craigslist find. I sold something of my own in order to raise the funds to buy it. Something I already had. And I was able to pick this up for $350. Now, it's about as harsh of shape as you want to see. So it really is going to show how to start at the bottom, get in at the bottom, and build something and ride it. So, all right, first big obstacle: this thing has no title. So I'm going to have to go through the lost title process, and that's going to be a bear, but and I don't have experience with that. Maybe I am too naive to know what I'm getting into, but we'll see. So I'll show how to go through that, at least for Washington State. I have not heard the thing run because the Kickstarter, this Kickstarter, is not the original Kickstarter. I don't know if you can kind of see, kick on the light here, the splines, that's these teeth looking things inside of here. This is a different kind of Kickstarter than what's supposed to be on here, so this is what happens. Yes, it just strips. So yeah, there's that before I can even hear the thing run. And I have not done anything to this thing, by the way. This is the condition that I got it in. The next big obstacle is the gas tank. It is rusted inside. That is not good. And it is expensive to replace a gas tank. You know, that's you know, the function of it that's affected by that. The exterior is pretty dented. That's a pretty nasty one there. So that's more superficial, but still. So the task with that is to try to save the tank. See what I can do to remove the rust, and then put some sort of coating liner inside so that it's not affecting the gas. Let's see what else. The exhaust. This is an aluminum exhaust that I have no idea what bike this is off, but it's been hacked up and screwed together, and the original bracket was cut off, and then let me turn the light back on. Screwed into the muffler. It is just a straight pipe with baffles, so it's going to be hella loud. Yeah, that pipe's got to go. Up under here you can see the orange around the, yeah, orange in the cracks there. That means that somebody's been in here. Who knows if they knew what they were doing. The stock airbox is still there, that's good. The carb is, I already know I'm gonna need to take it off and go through it. There is a battery in there. It's actually pretty strong. I guess the guy said this has been sitting for several months and it's still able to turn the headlight on, and it's decently bright. The rims are pretty nice. The spokes are all rusty. The wiring, yeah, some of the lights are taken off. It was licensed up until 2011, so that's kind of promising. I don't know, we'll see. So I have my work cut out for me, as you can tell, and then I will be taking you guys along on the journey, and hopefully you'll be able to learn from my growing pains in this project, and be able to avoid some of them yourself. So yeah, I've already had tons of ideas about it. It's going to be a fun journey. I can't wait. Alright. So yeah, again, oh, that's bright. Alright. Go check out eveRide and Mr. Duff Factor, what they're doing on the 650 KLR. And then stay tuned to this build, and we'll get her fixed up. Alright, see you later, nuts and bolts.